I've been down there many, many times. You know, I've been at below rock bottom. I was in my 30s, business went straight up, I went down below zero. You know, how can you lose more money? Invest your money. So I was down $800,000 at 32 years old. And my rich dad and my poor dad, you know, my poor dad was a great guy. He's a school teacher, head of education for the state of Hawaii. And my poor dad felt sorry for me. And my rich dad says, hey, congratulations. You lost your first business. See, it's in the mindset. He says, most entrepreneurs will lose 3 businesses. So rather than run and declare bankruptcy, he says, look, go talk to all your investors, tell them you messed up, you know, tell them you're going to work it out, you're going to pay them back, and go fix that business of yours. So rather than run and hide like some of my partners did, this is in Hawaii where I started the Velcro wallet business. I had to go back in and kind of find out most of the mistakes I made. And then when I could pay people back, because the business was up and running, then I started to pay people back from the successful operation. So I learned more from failing than I did in all my years of school. So that was really good. And then I took my little nylon wallet company out of the surfer market. So then I learned how another whole end of entrepreneurship, and that's what paid off my $800,000 in debt. So I always look at failure as an opportunity to learn and get bigger. And in real life, the people that make the most mistakes are the smartest people. You look at when I play golf, you know, I go out there and I practice, but I don't practice 1/100th of practice making mistakes. You know, you practice to make mistakes, right? So guys like Tiger Woods, guy Jordan Spieth, McIlroy, they've made more mistakes than I ever will. So the guys that make the most mistakes in life win, except in school, because you get punished for making mistakes. So it's just in your mindset. And so when I lost my first company, it was great. I lived on the street, I was homeless, got yelled at a lot by my investors. It was building self-esteem. You know, I said, I'll pay you back. You know, you trusted me, I messed up, but I'll pay you back. And it was that spirit, it's called the entrepreneur spirit. I rebuilt the company. So I was working with Duran Duran, Van Halen, the Police, you know, old bands. And we pulled that out of bankruptcy. I never declared bankruptcy, but I paid back my investors. I still had no money, but I paid back my investors.
You wake up tomorrow morning and you're on the street and you have nothing. You don't have a single contact in your network. All you have is the knowledge and experience that you've had throughout your career. How do you build up from there?
Well, I've been there many times. So it's no big deal. You just figure out what's needed and wanted and you go do it. You know, people always kind of dump on, fast food industry. If I had to do it again, I'd go work for McDonald's. And the reason I go work for McDonald's, you know, whether it's $7 an hour or 15, I don't really care. I don't really like McDonald's food, but they have the best business systems in the world. You know, how else can a company take virtually non-college educated people and build a fast food industry across the world? And they have the best system. So right inside little McDonald's, you can learn everything you need to learn about business except for the management side of it. So I just go work at McDonald's so I can learn even more. So I look at life as learning. I'm constantly learning. You know, I'm reading constantly, studying constantly. I spend most of my time with entrepreneurs. I don't spend my time with people who complain about the economy, you know. So nothing will really change. I just go back to being an entrepreneur. You know, you better have a spirit that's so strong. You cannot let other people's opinions and criticisms. At that point, he started to learn. He says, I learned a lot from my last business. Let me take what I learned from my last business and put it into this business. When my nylon business went down, I took what I learned and transferred it to rock and roll. You know, I mean, and then I transferred it into education. So today I'm an entrepreneur in education. I teach entrepreneurship because I understand what entrepreneurship is. The trouble with most entrepreneurs are self-employed. So they quit their job. And in America today, the SBA, the Small Business Administration, says there's 28 million small business owners. 28 million. 24 million are classified as non-employers. Remember, they're a one-man team. They'd be like this guy, say, okay, I'm going to take you on. Are you crazy? But that's what most entrepreneurs are trying to do. Because that's what they're taught to do in school, to be the rugged individual. The team is the hardest part of the game. Who am I gonna put on my team? Well, my brother-in-law, who's fat and ugly. You better choose your team really carefully. Or, my son needs a job. He's a drug dealer, but he played basketball in high school. And that's what entrepreneurs do. They don't choose their team with any kind of precision. Now, I made that mistake. I brought on friends who thought they were entrepreneurs, and they're incompetent. They were terrible. And I was terrible also. The difference is when we failed in the first business, I went on. They went back to their jobs. There's a very big difference in mindset. So all I'm saying here is this: if you're going to understand this, study entrepreneurs. Like I studied Edison, I studied Gates, Jobs. My biggest hero of all is Jobs, Steve Jobs. I studied Walt Disney, Henry Ford, Tesla. This guy Elon Musk, this Tesla car. Elon Musk is the new Steve Jobs. I mean, this guy is out of sight. Smart, he knows the game very well. Tesla knows how to, Musk knows how to use government subsidies, right? You've seen that article about him? 50 billion or 5 billion in government subsidies. These guys use the government because we're partners with the government. I receive lots of government subsidies because I'm a partner with the government. I'm not at war with the government. Most entrepreneurs go to war with the government. I'd rather put the government on my side, which is what you're doing here at the Corporations Commission. So there's really a partnership between government and entrepreneurship. Unfortunately, if you don't know that and you step out here, government pounds on this guy. Mm-hmm. The reason they give Tesla all the breaks, number one reason, he's an employer. New York just offered him all the solar business, Nevada the battery business, and Texas is space. So they give the entrepreneur the best tax breaks of all. My primary business is real estate. So I have 8,000 units here, and I get massive tax breaks from the federal government as well as the state government. So it's really knowing the game of this guy versus this guy. And most entrepreneurs, they could be really smart guys. They step out here, the government pounds on them, and these guys pound on them. Well, I always say the number one skill of an entrepreneur is the ability to sell or communicate. Number one, because sales equals income. So if your sales are down, your income's down. But it's not just selling your customer, you gotta sell your employees. That's really tough, And then next is selling my investors. So I'm selling investors, I'm selling employees, I'm selling customers, and I'm selling myself. So number one is sales. But when you look at the big picture, there's three things an entrepreneur must learn. Number one is PR. And what you're talking about is PR. The other day, Fox News interviewed me to find out if I would endorse my friend Donald Trump for president. You know how much that's worth? They co-branded us. Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, and Trump. That's incredibly priceless. So getting PR is the number one skill. Under that is marketing. And what marketing does is like advertising. They want to set the customer up to get ready to buy. Oh yeah, I saw that Kia ad. I want to buy a Kia. I want to buy some land, I want to buy this. So the customer is now primed to buy. That's marketing's job. Then the last thing is a sale. So if you've done a really good job on PR, then you've done a great job on marketing, the sale is like that. They walk in, they buy. But if you have no PR and you have no marketing, you have to pound, hard close. Well, Mr. Customer, today's changing business environment, you should buy my insurance. And people today hate sales pitches more than ever before. So the number one sales job of a true entrepreneur is to develop your ability to get PR. Like for me right now, this is PR. Okay? Then is marketing. Marketing is kind of what I pay for. You know, it's kind of, I want to craft my message out there. So I'll pay to have an ad go on or do this, just to prime the mind to make the sale easier. And I'll say it again, most entrepreneurs are not good at sales. They're horrible at marketing. They have no idea what it is, and they can't get any PR. And so they struggle. And again, sales equals income, so they crash. There's two people you must have. One is an accountant, one's an attorney. And not that they run your company, but they've spent years getting their mindset to give you the best legal advice. Because as an entrepreneur, I don't have time to go back to law school. So I've got to have an accountant and I've got to have an attorney, period. Say nothing more. The good thing is they work by the hour, which means you can rent them. So only get one when you need one. When you get older or more mature, then you can bring them on staff. But the biggest mistake that many entrepreneurs make to save money, they become their own attorney, or they become their own accountant, or their brother-in-law knows an accountant, or their sister-in-law works for a law firm, and they get hammered. Like, all of my troubles have really started with legal documents, or the misinterpretation of one. I was talking to my great friend down in Mexico, and he and I wanted to do a deal. So he sent me a legal document to sign. And I said, hey, I never agreed to a contract. Oh yes, we had a deal. We had a deal. I said, no, we were discussing the terms and conditions of the contract. No, that was an agreement. We shook hands. I said, shook hands. I said, goodbye. It doesn't mean we had a deal. We had a deal. Broke the partnership apart. It's just because the lack of sophistication does not understand how important that legal document is. I don't sign it until he's happy and I'm happy. But that takes negotiation, as you know. So it's, unfortunately, more important than ever before today is that legal document.